Hello and welcome back to another session of Office Hours. My name's Adrian. I am the CEO and founder of Groundhogg, and we're going to keep it simple in today's sessions. I'm going to be going over some of the newer product updates that just came out over the last few days, and then we're going to jump right into our Q&A section and make sure that you get answers to your burning questions and you can move forward with your project. So, go ahead and type hello in the chat section just to let us know that you're here. If at any point you have a question, you are welcome to type that question out in the chat. If you see me constantly looking over to my right, that's because I have the chat area just open on my second monitor here. So if you just see me looking over, it's because I'm constantly checking the chat for questions. If you have a question, just pop it in there. I'm going to repeat it live here on the call and get you an answer to the best of my ability. This session is being recorded. So this session is being recorded and being posted to YouTube as well as our Office Hours channel on Groundhogg Academy. So you can go see this replay in a few days on both of those platforms. You can also go to academy.groundhogg.io or the YouTube channel to watch previously recorded sessions of Office Hours as well. All right, so let's just jump into some of the new features that we have coming out for the platform. And actually, all of these are already out, so you don't even need to wait. You just need to go download the latest version. So the first one is we've overhauled the notes feature. Probably one of our oldest feature requests was to just beef this feature up a lot and provide a better use case for it for people who do a lot of one-on-one sales. So we have allowed the editing of notes, so you can now edit your notes after the fact. So if you make a typo or something, you can easily edit it. Or if you need to delete a note, for example, let's say something is no longer relevant or a piece of information is no longer relevant, you can just go ahead and delete those notes as well. We are also keeping track of the exact date time that the note was added or last edited, and keeping track of where the note was added. So if it was added via the API, whether it was added by a specific funnel, whether it was added by a specific user, we are going to be able to display to you that context. For example, it says all of these notes here say added by Adrian Tobey. If it was added by a funnel, it would say added in this funnel, or if it was added via the API, it would say added via API. All of your previously added notes will be able to be migrated to this new note format, which is super cool. So you don't need to worry about any of your previous note information going missing. All of them will actually be translated and migrated into this new format to be able to provide to you a nice UI for continuing to manage your notes. So super cool stuff on that front, available in the latest version of Groundhogg. We've also added a new step to the broadcast scheduling process. So before you click that send button, we actually are going to start showing you this screen where you're going to confirm the parameters for your broadcast. So it's going to give you a link to the actual email that you're about to send. It's going to give you the subject line, the calculated date and time that your email is going to be sent at, shown in the local time of the site. It's going to give you the approximate number of the recipients. That number may actually be different depending on your compliance settings. You'll be able to preview the email that you're about to send in both mobile and desktop view, and it's going to then ask you to confirm, send this email to the 5,116 contacts, or as many contacts as you are about to send it to. It allows you to check for the correct number of recipients, the formatting of the email, any typos that you might have in the subject line or in the email content. But this just provides an extra step that allows you to mitigate any damage. I got an email from Ryan Dice this morning, and they had a broken merge field in the subject line of the email. So I just got an email that said, is this you first name? Instead of, is this you Adrian? So this tool exactly meant to prevent that and prevent mistakes like those emails with broken subject lines and broken merge fields, because you don't want that. That's no good. Speaking of the email preview, we've improved the email preview. So instead of kind of this like janky pop-up thing that's going to happen when you click the email preview buttons, it's going to go show something like this. It's going to show side-by-side desktop and mobile. with the kind of like the outline of those things. The desktop looks more like a tablet, but on a laptop, there's only so much space you have to work with. So you're going to be able to see those side-by-side preview screens now, just to provide a significant and superior just preview aspect. So it's going to have the subject line right at the top there, and then, of course, the merged email content with the current logged-in user's information. Saved searches. Saved searches is also a fairly old request. We improved the search method in version 2.2 drastically, and now in this latest version, we have added the ability to save your searches. So now when you go ahead and you make those search with the tag criteria and the first name criteria, maybe the metadata criteria, you don't want to have to type in all of that information into the search area every single time. That's a lot of work, and we want, Groundhogg is all about saving time. So now you can go ahead, and when you click that search button, it's going to reload the search box with all of your search criteria, and you'll be able to then type in a specific name for your search and save it. And I'm actually going to demo this quickly for you. So let's go ahead, and we are going to search our contacts. Let's go ahead and search. And I'm just going to give it a bunch of random tags. So I want to see everybody that's unconfirmed and their first name starts with A. So that's going to be my search. Of course, your search criteria may differ and is probably a little bit more advanced than this. But I'm going to go ahead and click that search button. It is going to give me anybody whose tag is unconfirmed and their name starts with A, and I have a bunch of people to choose from here, which is great. I can now, at the bottom below the search button, see a field to save my search, and I'm going to save this as starts with A. I'm going to go ahead and save that search. There we go. And now what I can do is I'm going to just go ahead and refresh the page to show you what it looks like loading a search. So I can go ahead and click the search button at the top. It's going to show me and display the search fields. Under saved searches, there is now a section, or an option rather, for a search that starts with A. I'm going to go ahead and load that search. And it is going to set my criteria, starts with A, includes unconfirmed, and it's going to load all of those results for me. So super cool, super convenient for doing multiple searches with the same criteria. That may be a little bit more advanced than just selecting a couple of tags. So that's really awesome. You can also delete searches. So you can load a search, and then you'll have the option to delete the current search if you don't need that search anymore. So really convenient feature now available. Transactional emails. This was also a new feature introduced in 2.2, which hasn't received a whole ton of press, but is currently available. And transactional emails, so you can select a marketing type for your emails now, or a transactional type. Transactional emails will bypass any of the opt-in statuses. So it will bypass the check if a contact is currently marketable, and bypass any compliance settings because they don't necessarily apply to transactional emails. What's a transactional email? A transactional email is something like a reminder to show up for a specific date. For example, if someone signed up for an event and you are sending event reminders, those would be considered transactional emails. If you are sending a notification for maybe someone's subscription expired, that would be a transactional email. So basically, a transactional email would apply to something that is informing the contact that they need to do something in order to fulfill on whatever they already purchased or already subscribed to. Marketing emails are something like our office hours reminders, where no one necessarily signed up in order to receive every single reminder, but it's just something that we send out. So that's technically considered marketing. A broadcast email promoting your new product, that would be marketing. And we leave it up to you in this case to choose whether your email is marketing or transactional. We hope that you're going to implement your best judgment Any liability, of course, falls on you if someone decides to complain about you abusing the transactional marketing system. But it's there for you to use now if you need to bypass the marketing status for transactional specific emails. Just to show you where you can edit that setting, there's a picture of it here, but I will just quickly pop into Groundhogg and show you. Review requests would be a marketing email, but if I was going to say something like event reminder, this would qualify as a transactional email, and then you could change the message type of the email to transactional. And now when this email is sent, it will bypass the marketability status of the contact record. So that's kind of cool. Okay, so last new feature, we have a BuddyBoss integration coming out, which is super, super awesome. And I think it's already available for download, which is awesome. And this BuddyBoss integration will allow you to tag members if they join specific groups. That would be useful if you have a bunch of groups with specific interest types and you want to send marketing information based on specific group interests. So that's a pretty neat use case. You can also tag members based on their profile type if you have that feature enabled. So let's say, for example, you have student profile types and you have teacher profile types. You'd be able to segment those differently, and then you could easily send emails to the students or the teachers depending on the tags that they get from their profile type. Also super neat. And if you have the advanced preferences extension installed, you will be able to allow members to change their email preferences from the email preferences screen built into BuddyBoss, so they don't have to go to the change preferences area from the unsubscribe link in the email. So that's super cool as well. Just a little neat feature for the customer there, adding the email preferences section to their profile. I have a question here from Cedric, and Cedric asks, does transactional email bypass bounced emails as well? It shouldn't. It should only bypass those. So if you're unconfirmed, unsubscribed, or complained, so unsubscribed, unconfirmed, and complained, it will bypass those, but I don't think it should bypass bounced, because if an email bounces, whether it's transactional or marketing or not, isn't really going to matter. So that's so it should not go past bounces, Cedric. Kurt says, notes, save searches, email types. You guys been busy. I have a potential project to apply BuddyBoss. Great session for all. Thank you, Kurt. That's awesome. Yeah, we're excited about this BuddyBoss integration, and we have a lot of people asking us about BuddyBoss, so we figured that we just better get on that. So BuddyBoss, there you go. I will do a quick demo just to show you what that kind of looks like. For those of you who don't know, BuddyBoss is a new social kind of community platform. It's forked from BuddyPress, if anybody remembers BuddyPress. Basically, BuddyPress is like an old forum tool, but they've extended it way beyond that. So you have it's basically like installing Facebook on your WordPress site. So if that's something you're interested in doing, that's kind of neat. Personally, when doing group communities, I honestly just think Facebook groups are the best way to go. I understand not everybody has Facebook, but 99% of the world does. And it's just a great engagement platform and really easy to manage. So if you're doing a community and you don't want to spend any money, then Facebook groups are the way to go. But if you would rather have a self-hosted community that you control entirely, then BuddyBoss is really cool. And you can see that has a lot of inspiration from Facebook. You have the profile, you have the wall and the feed and groups and kind of all of that stuff, but with none of the advertising and the drawbacks of using Facebook, which is obviously it's great, it's easy to get engagement, but it's also hard to keep engagement. So BuddyBoss might be an interesting solution for you if you're looking to build an online community. We see a lot of people using it with stuff like Lifter LMS or Learndash to add the community aspect to their courses. So go check that out, and at the same time, you can check out the BuddyBoss integration. And I said I was going to do a quick demo, so let me do that. So we have BuddyBoss here, and it's activated, which is great. So how do I, where are the, I was doing so well, and now I don't remember how BuddyBoss works. Let me just make sure that everything is active. It might not be active. That's probably why. Yeah, it's not active. All right, so we're going to make sure that that's active, and we're also going to make sure that the integration is active as well. Activate. There you go. So when you're using BuddyBoss and you want to create specific profile types, so when someone signs up, you can qualify them as a student or a teacher, you'll be able to choose tags that you'd want to apply to that member when they select this profile type. So I just have student selected, but you could add multiple tags if you needed to. You can also choose to remove tags from this user if they select the specific profile type. So if they had maybe an unregistered tag previously and then they enrolled or became a student, you could remove the tag unregistered. So that's a pretty neat use case for you. Same thing for groups. So if I am going to go create a group here, and I just have a demo group called My Awesome Group, and all of my groups are awesome, then you can apply the tag My Awesome Group. Again, you can add multiple tags. You can also remove those tags. And here's a neat feature. So if this person decides to leave this group, you can actually reverse the tags. So any tags that were added would be removed. Any tags which were removed would be re-added when this person leaves the group. So some interesting options for automation going on there. And then the final integration feature of this, if I go to the actual front end of the site here, and I go to my account, there is an account setting or account page called Email Preferences. Let's just go ahead and open that. And I will actually be able to see my Groundhogg marketing preferences here. Not unsubscribe, but if you have the Advanced Preferences extension, which allows you to show tags as specific topics that people can subscribe or unsubscribe from, those tags, those preferences will show here. So I see it's called marketing messages, and I can see that I currently have the student and my awesome group tag as preferences, which I can choose to either opt in or out of. And I can just click, I know I don't want to receive these emails, and if I go ahead and save those changes, those tags are going to be removed from my contact profile. So really nifty, really simple, and really powerful integration for people using BuddyBoss who want to get super granular with their segmentation and make sure that the proper people are receiving the proper emails. So really cool stuff there. I think that's going to bring us to the end of the newest updates for Groundhogg. So we blasted through that. There's some really great stuff coming out, or that has just come out, and also coming out in the future, because we're always building cool things. And a lot of that stuff is just going to make working with Groundhogg just that much easier, and building great platforms and great education sites and great community platforms just that much easier. So we've reached the Q&A portion, which is where you can ask any questions that you need answers to in the chat. I'm going to repeat those questions live here on the call, and then I am going to either demo the answer or just provide you a verbal answer if that's going to suffice. If you have any questions about any of the new features, then feel free to also just drop those in the comments as well, and I'd be happy to demo or explain further. There are no bad questions, and there are no silly questions. There are no stupid questions. Everything is fair game here. There's absolutely zero judgment. Everybody on this call is coming from a different level of experience with email marketing and marketing automation. So if you feel that you have a question, but you don't want to ask it for fear of being silly, then I just want to let you know that this is a safe space and you are welcome to ask any questions that you have. We got some great questions last week and the week before that weren't even related to Groundhog. Questions like, how do I build my community? Or how do I actually go about getting people on my list and people to sign up and people in funnels? And that actually turned into brilliant office hours conversations. The last 2 episodes, I think, were just really good. So I implore you to don't be afraid to just ask anything that's preventing you from growing your business right now. I am going to stop talking, leave to the floor for a few seconds. If no questions come in, we'll figure out something that we can talk about. Okay, so I'm not seeing. Here's a couple questions. Great, awesome. So Lorraine says, new to Groundhog, what should I start with and grow from there? Well, Lorraine, that is a really easy question for me to answer. So if you have not already, you should be going to academy.groundhog.io, where we have a few courses to start with. So we have something called the official Quick Start course for the Groundhog community. And what this course will do is it will take you from having nothing installed to Groundhog and extensions installed and your first sales funnel, lead magnet download funnel installed, active, and ready to accept registrations. So this is really just going to help you get launched as quickly as possible. Most people are able to go through this course in less than an hour and have their white label lead magnet or whatever it is that you have in order to distribute ready to go and ready to get out there to your audience. So if you have not done that, this is absolutely where you should be starting. Now, depending on after this, if you get through to the end of this course and you've got your funnel, if you still don't know what to do next and you're not sure, then what I would recommend is depending on your niche, if you're a course creator, which we have a lot of those people coming in these days, or you're a, let's say, a coach of some kind and you're looking at how to implement education into your business, then I would absolutely recommend this additional course, which is our Course Creators Essentials. If you are an agency and you're adding you're adding Groundhog as a service offering to your agency business, then you need to be in our certified partner program. This is a paid program, but the information has been classified as invaluable. And this course is going to get you everything you need to know in order to start selling Groundhog implementation services in absolutely no time at all. So those are our 3 courses that we're currently offering. We're working on creating more. But that's absolutely where I would start if you have not gone through those courses already, Lorraine. So hopefully that answers your question and provides you a little bit of direction. Link asks, will there be any sales funnels for sale? We don't plan on ever selling sales funnel. One of my big things is I provide as much as I can for as little as I can. Any great funnel templates that I create or strategies that I dig up, I will always distribute free of charge on office hours or in an email or in a blog post. I will do whatever I can in order to help our members grow as quickly as possible. I recently did that on a session of office hours, and it's right here on the Academy site. So if I go to office hours, I shared my strategy for collecting reviews, tips for collecting reviews and feedback, which includes a downloadable funnel template that you can install on your site. It's super good, and it's been working really well for me. I have a 5% 5-star review rate. So out of all of the people that use Groundhogg, 5% of those people have left a 5-star review, which is actually really high in the WordPress industry. I mean, the typical like review percentage is less than 1%. So yeah, I've been killing it with this review funnel, and I'm sharing that for free, as well as the exact strategy that went behind it. And in all of my previous office hours, I just share as much information as I can that will help you overcome any barriers that you're experiencing. So I have no intention of ever charging for sales funnels. That being said, we do include specific funnels that come with specific extensions. So some of our extensions come with funnels, like WooCommerce comes with cart abandonment, and EDD comes with cart abandonment. And there's a few other funnels that come included, bundled with some of our integrations. But that's because those funnels have dependencies on those integrations. But we're never going to charge for our marketing knowledge. You can rest assured that we're going to continue to provide as much of that as we can for free. So hopefully that answers your question, Link. That, of course, does not stop you, by the way, from selling sales funnels, especially if you're an agency. Having proven strategies and niche-specific sales funnels can be a huge differentiator, and you can actually use those as tripwires or lead magnets, and you can sell those templates when your customers also use Groundhogg. So while I and Groundhogg will never sell premium funnel templates, that does not necessarily mean that you shouldn't, because that's a great way to get people into Groundhogg and a great way to get people in your door, especially if you're something like a marketing agency or you're training people on Groundhogg services. Cedric asks about the reporting dashboard. For example, for new leads, I see only 1 point every 3 days. Is it possible to display the lead number every day in the graph? So we bundle the days depending on the time range. So if the time range is longer than a week, then we bundle into 3-day increments just because it's easier to look at and it's not as squished. The reporting dashboard was designed for the laptop screen, which is generally 13 inches. It's not really big. And then it just scales up on bigger desktops. So we have to keep accessibility in mind, especially on small devices. So that's why you see it bundled in 3 days. But if you need to see it granular on a day-to-day basis, you can go to the report to 7 days, which will show it bundled into 1-day increments. So that's the reason for that, Cedric. And to just show you an example of what that looks like, if I go to my reporting dashboard, and I want to choose the last 7 days, it's going to give me those 7 date points. So hopefully that answers your question and provides you with a course of action in order to see the data that you need to at a granular level. Louis asks, how much is the certified partner training? So regularly, I'll start off with the regular pricing. So regularly, the certified partner training is $1,000 for the first year. And then it's a $500 renewal fee. That gets you a bi-weekly mastermind call where you get access to me, kind of like on office hours, except it's a private Zoom call. You get to turn your mic on and you get to share your troubles and your grievances, and we're going to work with you as well as with the rest of our partner community on solving those issues for you. You also get listed in our certified partner directory, which people use in order to find Groundhogg certified partners to help them implement their projects. Certified partner directory. All of our certified partners are listed here publicly if they want to. It's not required. You also get access to the certified partner training, which is on the Academy site. The certified partner training is not Groundhogg specific training. But what it does do is it gets you ready to implement Groundhogg for your customers, exactly how to rank in Google for Groundhogg agency and those specific search terms, how to generate digital marketing and marketing automation clients. And I used to be an agency person for like years, so that's a lot of stuff that I know about. So I put all of my agency knowledge into that course to help you really be successful being a Groundhogg partner and being an agency and getting clients and successfully implementing for them. There's a lot of other perks as well, which I'm not going to like get too granular into. So regular pricing is $1,000 for the first year and then $500 renewal. Currently, we have COVID-19 relief pricing for the partner program. So instead of $1,000 and then it's $500 for the first year and then $300 renewal. If you're interested in becoming a certified partner at this price point, which we're going to end soon, I don't have a specific date, but the world, at least where I am, seems to be opening up a little bit. So where COVID-19 relief pricing doesn't seem as relevant as it did. But if you want to jump on the bandwagon and get in that COVID relief pricing, I would do so quickly. And if you want that pricing, you can just message our Facebook page. We'll send you a link and we'll get you signed up to become a new certified partner. Hopefully that answers your question, Louis. I'm not seeing any new questions, so feel free to pop into the chat and leave a question that you need an answer to. It could be about marketing, it could be about Groundhogg, it could be about WordPress. I know a lot about all of those things. And if I don't know the answer to your question, I'm going to point you in the direction of where you can get an answer to that question, either from another WordPress person or another digital marketer or whoever I know might have an answer for you. I don't see any new questions now, so I did see a question in the group that someone asked me to cover. George Hernandez asked, I would love to know if I can integrate ConvertBox with Groundhogg. ConvertBox is, I think, a SaaS program, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, so I think the way to do ConvertBox for anybody that's interested in using this kind of plugin is, do they have a Zapier? ConvertBox webhook. Let's see if they do webhooks. Because if they do webhooks, that'll be easy. So it looks like they do webhooks, which is awesome. So for anybody using ConvertBox, what you might be able to do is you can do an outgoing webhook from here. So when you set up your form, you can set up form actions. And then you can choose, it looks like a webhook step, which is really cool. That's easy. And we provide a webhook listener in the advanced features extension. So I am going to copy this support article. And I'm going to paste that in the chat. And then in the funnel builder, we have something called the webhook listener. So you can copy this URL and then you can paste that in the webhook URL in ConvertBox. They will send the data from the form submission or from however they're opting in from ConvertBox to Groundhogg. Here you will be able to map the fields of the request. So you'll be able to say map first name to first name, last name to last name, email to your email address, and map all of the data to the specific contact record field, and you're pretty much good to go. So hopefully, George, you're going to be able to see this replay, because I'm not sure if you're on the call or not. And if you do, that is how you can integrate ConvertBox with Groundhogg, just using the webhook listener tool. Really convenient, this tool, because most third-party platforms support webhooks. So if there's not a specific Groundhogg integration, it's just easy to move data from one place to the other using this method. Nancy is telling me that we're getting lots of questions in regards to future plans for Groundhogg. Future plans for Groundhogg include continuing to build epic tools to help small businesses grow. That has always been our mandate and will continue to be our mandate. Specifically, tools aimed at helping people get launched faster. As you've probably heard me rant on before, the biggest hurdle in small business is actually getting launched and past the I'm still building it phase. That has been the consistent cause for project abandonment or project failure, is just never actually launching. So we're going to continue building tools then and distributing resources, helping small businesses get over the hurdle of actually launching their project and getting out there and getting customers. Immediate plans include just going through our feature request lists, finding the gold nuggets, implementing them, and continuing to distribute those changes. What I would personally like to do is get back on creating to more courses, which I talked about specifically, e-commerce essentials and agency essentials, or like not necessarily agency essentials, but coach and consultant essentials. That's the word I'm looking for, consultant. So whether it might be an agency, like a digital marketing agency, might be a health coach or a health consultant. So those are the two kind of other verticals that I'd certainly love to attack and provide great resources for. We're going to start off with e-commerce and then probably do consultant. But in the immediate future, that's what we're looking at. I know lots of people ask for a public roadmap. We're not doing that anymore. There's a few reasons for that. Number one, we don't want to give anybody false hope. The market changes every single day, and we're constantly on the lookout for where we should be taking this product next, and where we want to go tomorrow might not be the same as it was yesterday, because the technology in the market just changes so rapidly that we don't want to make any false promises on a roadmap. Second of all, we don't want our competitors to know what it is we're working on. We don't have a ton of competitors, and in the grand scheme of things, we're pretty small. But we don't want to certainly make it like super easy for other people to just say, hey, listen, this is where they're going. We should probably follow them as well. So no roadmap, but definitely focusing on education. We made a big push in education in Q1 of this year. So January to March, we had all those new courses come out, and it was awesome. So we're going to be looking at making some new courses and making sure that the education component is available to our customers in order to really scale up and grow big and do good business. So we're around the 40-minute mark, a shorter office hours than usual, but if there are no other questions, we are just going to cut it off here. I'm going to give it a minute or so to wait for questions to come in, because there is like a 20 to 30 second delay between when words leave my mouth and reach you on your screen. So please go ahead. There are no silly questions. Just pop those in the chat area. If there are no questions, we're going to call it a day and wait till and save it till next week. Cedric asks, any reason to have chosen Lifter LMS versus Learndash? Well, I mean, reason number one is that Chris, who is the CEO at Lifter LMS, is just a really good friend of mine. And I know that if I ever needed help, that I'd just be able to get it directly from the horse's mouth, as it were. And I'd have just extremely incredible support, and anything that I needed would be taken care of, essentially. So that's reason number one. Chris has helped me out a lot over the last couple of years, and we have a really good integration with Lifter LMS. We have pretty much the same integration with Learndash. But I also found Lifter LMS was extremely easy to use. It was kind of like a coin. I mean, there's no there's not a huge difference in the capabilities that had a factor in my decision. Lifter LMS and Learndash are pretty comparable pieces of software. The biggest difference would I suppose be cost. Lifter LMS gives away more for free than Learndash does, but their premium features cost more than Learndash does. So your overall investment will probably end up being more with Lifter LMS than it would with Learndash. But if you're just starting out, Lifter LMS has a lot more to offer for the free level than Learndash does, based on my knowledge of both platforms. I found Lifter LMS really easy to work with. We have a Gutenberg, the Groundhogg Academy site is a Gutenberg first site, so there's no page builders installed. It's all just done with Gutenberg, and all of the course layouts are done with Gutenberg, and that was really easy to accomplish, and it was really easy to build the courses. I would highly recommend Lifter LMS if you're currently choosing between Learndash and Lifter LMS. The support group is just next level. So if you get the biggest package, which is like their $1,000 package, I think it's like $999, which is their Infinity Bundle, you get access to a mastermind, a weekly mastermind call, kind of like how we do here, except it's on a Zoom call and you get to turn on your mic on and participate. So if you're having issues, Chris is always on that call and able to help and answer those questions live. So it's incredible value for your investment. Also great courses to just help out and get the ball rolling on your project. Is it like night and day between Learndash and Lifter LMS? Maybe, maybe not. I've never used Learndash myself, except for creating the integrations that we have with them. But I do know that if you're like community and support, Lifter LMS is unrivaled. So if that is a big factor in your decision, I would say consider Lifter LMS. Andy is asking, best link for training for setting up Groundhogg. Go to academy.groundhogg.io, Andy, and you are going to find our Getting Started course. So we have a number of courses available on the Academy site. The one you are looking for is the official Quick Start course for beginners and the Groundhogg community. I am going to type that into the chat area for you, Andy. Go ahead, take this course. It should take under an hour, and by the end, you'll have Groundhogg installed, set up, and your first funnel live and ready to accept registrations. So pretty amazing stuff that'll get you through there super fast. Once you're done that, you are welcome to go back to our welcome page. So when you install Groundhogg for the first time, you are going to end up on our welcome screen, which is just in the menu here. It says welcome. And there are lots of additional setup videos that will walk you through some of the more technical aspects of setting up Groundhogg. So importing your list, sending your first broadcast, configuring the WP cron, creating your first funnel. And of course, there's also a link on the welcome page to take you to the Quick Start course if you hadn't taken that course already. So lots of methods for you to learn about Groundhogg through videos and getting set up. Beyond that, if you're absolutely new to the community, and I assume you are because you're asking this question, this is likely your first office hours. We record all of these office hours and we post those on Groundhogg Academy and our YouTube channel as well. Our office hours contain tremendous amounts of useful information for you to browse through the Q&A section, as well as I do typically a topic ahead of the Q&A section. For example, our last one is talking about how to build an audience without spending a dime on advertising. That was a really good one, super popular. We have tips for collecting reviews and feedback, and it just goes on and on and on for a bunch of ways that will help you grow your business, scale, and implement some cool strategies. So go ahead and check out our previous office hours as well. If you like listening to podcasts, it's kind of like that, except you have the video component as well, because the screen is, of course, recorded. So hopefully that helps you out, Andy. Okay, no new questions coming in, so what I'm going to do is we're going to call it a day. And we are going to save all of our excellent questions for next week and our next session of Office Hours. So to wrap up, if you need additional help and resources, I just spent the last 5 minutes talking about it, but you can always go over to academy.groundhogg.io. We got courses, we got Office Hours, lots of stuff for you to consume and learn about Groundhogg and best practices, marketing strategies, growth strategies, etc. If you're more of the sit back and relax kind of person and you just want it all taken care of for you, we have certified partners that are willing to help you solve those problems. You can go to our certified partner directory to look for a partner, and you can also message us. So if you'd like us to pair you with a certified partner, you are welcome to reach out to us, and we're going to make you some introductions with some of our partners that would be best suited for your specific business and your niche. Finally, if you think that a friend, a colleague, a business partner might benefit from using Groundhogg, you can refer them to us, and if you do, if they buy something, we're going to reward you 10% of that sale, yearly recurring. So some super cool rewards there. Go to our affiliate registration area to create an affiliate account. If you're not following us, you should be. We have lots of great content coming out, great tips and strategies and notifications coming out through the various social media platforms. We got Facebook, we got Twitter, we got YouTube, and Instagram, all of them at Groundhogg WP. So lots of ways to follow us and consume content. If you have yet to leave a review, we just got to 55 5-star reviews, which is pretty great, 555. But we'd love to get that up even higher. So if you wouldn't mind taking the next 2 minutes at the end of this call to go to our WordPress repository listing and leaving a review, I would be incredibly grateful. And it was just a super big help. Reviews allow us to get more customers, allows us to hire more people, allows us to build cool stuff faster. So it's a really cyclical relationship there. So 2 minutes is all it's going to take you. If you have more questions and you did not get to ask your question on this call, we have lots of ways for you to get help. We have the support group. You can continue to comment on this thread. You can message our live chat. You can reach out to us on Twitter, or you can send an email to our team. All valid ways to get answers to your burning questions. So I hope this helps. And if you have more questions, you can always hold them to our next session of Office Hours, which is going to be next week, Tuesday, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thank you, everybody, and I hope you all have a wonderful day.